Gentlemen, welcome back to the Alexander & Co. Grooming Experience, 5519 Yonge Street, best barbershop in the world. Trade deadline tomorrow. Obviously, we look at the big teams, what the big teams need. I know you're a GS guy. We got to start with GS. What do they need going forward?
Right now, it's tough to really say what they need. Obviously, on the defensive end is where they're a complete, tire fire. It's just blow by after blow by. I think, now that Draymond's back, and I'm also seeing Kuminga playing a bit better basketball.
Better. He had an 11 for 11 game.
Right, with Draymond on the court. And I think
After he cut the hair.
after he got the haircut, right? Fly a bit more, move a bit better.
Probably
Aerodynamics.
But I don't, and I know I projected them to, be a top team coming out of the West early this season. But something's happened for that. I did. I'm going to hug that. I'm going to take that. I can take that.
Hug that.
I can hug that.
Yes, sir. That's how we talk in the
But
barbershop.
I think they're, to me, on the brink of maybe you really just have to blow this thing up, right?
Yeah, they're old.
They're older.
Yeah.
Period.
But you really don't want to waste, and I think for Steph's career as well, you don't want to waste his time. I don't think there's one move that's going to change this team, right? But if you're...
I think Pascal Siakam would have made sense for them. I think that was the only way that they could have moved on from Kuminga. But and then maybe attached Wiggins' contract with that, obviously to make the money work. But I think they realized that they're old.
Yeah.
And Kuminga is really the only guy that can take the next step. Like Kuminga has star potential when you watch him play.
Yeah.
Like his bounce, his
raw.
energy,
He's very raw.
Yeah. If you can harness this guy could be the one, right? That will make this team go. And so they realized that, and they're like, okay, we can't really get rid of that guy because all our guys are old, and we're going to need that guy. So what do you do then? And I think Bob Myers, the reason why he left, or one of the reasons why he left is because the relationships are too close. He knew that they were getting old. He knew they were going to get in this situation. He couldn't get rid of his friends, right? Ultimately, Draymond Green, Steph, Clay. Yeah.
They need to take a page out of Masai's book. You got to start to get rid of these assets, man. You got to get younger. Like, you got to realize, in sports, the NBA has 30 teams.
Yeah.
29 teams are going to lose in June. One's going to win. Right? No matter what Golden State does, they're not gonna win. Yeah. It's a long season. Draymond Green, he's playing like he's 85. He's the old guy at the YMCA. Steph, we can see the decline now, right? And it's more, it might not be his legs, it's his heart and his mind. He's looking around, he's like, geez, man, is this what it's come down to? Like, is this it?
A situation exists where the Lakers and the Warriors could not be in the playoffs this year. Like, that is not even far-fetched.
You know what? And listen, Red, you're absolutely right. Take the page out of Masai. Stop the bleeding today. Get the gauze. Stop the bleeding today. Take a page out of Masai's book. Start the transition now. You have to. We saw a big move last week, which kind of shook the NBA a bit. Milwaukee, which I didn't know. Glenn Rivers, which I refuse to call him Doc because I'm not too sure what he has his doctorate in.
Wow.
So Glenn Rivers.
But okay, so I will say this with Milwaukee.
What do they need?
Well, they need time. Right now, they need time because you're going right back into training camp with Doc now. He's got to implement his systems. He's got to implement his style, get his coaching staff on board, and so forth. But the big thing for them is you're going to be in rotation. When you have Dame Lillard at the point of attack, right, you're going to be playing 5-on-4, right, defensively. So I think that, and I don't know what assets they would have to offer Chicago, but I think Alex Caruso
makes a lot of sense.
Would be a really good fit for Milwaukee because they don't need anybody on the offensive end. Get out of Dame's way, get out of Giannis's way, just knock down shots, right? Those guys will figure it out. But they're going to need help on the defensive end because these guys are constantly going to be in rotation. Dame, we can have high hopes and assume, okay, he's going to give effort. Dame is not going to give the effort on the defensive end, right? He's going to do his work on the offensive side. To get better, you have to accept who you are, and I think that the front office also has to take accountability there. You're not going to be the defensive juggernaut you were last year.
Well, let's see what Doc Rivers does defensively. I don't even know, is he a defensive-minded coach at all, but he has had good defensive players when he won the championship with the Celtics. So let's see what happens.
You could have coached that team to championship. You could have coached the team to championship.
Yeah. Let's see what happens with his systems because I did see, a lot of disgruntled players on the defensive end. There was a video that came out and it was like just Brook Lopez being upset at possession after possession where he was where the wing defender was not allowed to help off the guy in the corner, and then so Brook Lopez had to take the man that led his man, wide open dunks, and he was multiple times upset at this situation. So if they maybe work that out, I think they can be a better defensive team. Look, this team they had the tied for the second best record in the NBA when Doc Rivers took over. So they're already championship caliber right now. You mentioned, who did you mention? Caruso works. I think Matthias Thybulle, coming back, being reunited with Doc Rivers would work as well. A guy that can guard, a Jason Tatum, a guy that can guard a point guard who's a bit bigger. I think he makes a lot of sense because I don't know if he's part of Portland's rebuild or whatever they're doing there.
Raptors made some unprecedented moves. We haven't seen this all in a month span, the 2 trades. Where does Toronto go from here?
Well, for one, you have a hub in Scotty Barnes to really play with, and just really develop and grow. I think Grady Dick has shown over the last, couple of games, getting some more minutes, and he took a lot of criticism early, but you can see it's not his fault. He was drafted 13th, but his body wasn't ready to be. You think about it, at 6'7", he's never had to shoot or compete against guys his size, right? He could get a shot off when he wanted, at will, as slow as he wanted. Now that the speed of the game picks up, but you have those 2 guys that I think, you explore, who they're going to be and what they are.
Yeah, you got 3-4 starters right now, all right? You got Quickly, you got RJ, you got Pirtle if you want to keep that, and you got Scotty. So for them, whatever way they go, the goal has to be to get that next top tier starter. I think a guy just slightly under Scotty Barnes' talent will work. Those guys are hard to come by. Are you going to find them in this year's draft? I don't know. They say it's a weaker draft, right?
I hope they end up with that top 6 pick. I understand weaker draft, but when you're top 6, you still have the luxury of and it puts a lot more pressure on your front office and scouts. You still have the ability to find that diamond in the rough, right, with that pick.
Does anybody remember whether Jokic's draft was a great draft or a bad draft? Does it even matter? The guy went in the second round. Even the team that drafted him didn't take him with their first pick in the draft.
You guys are in a good spot though. Rap's definitely in a good spot. I know you're a big fan of Barnes, big fan of Scotty.
Big fan, big fan. Scotty can do whatever he wants on the basketball court. Those guys are not hard. They're hard to find.
Yeah, he's strong.
Yeah,
put a lot of size there.
Yeah.
This offseason, you guys are in good. You guys are in good hands. You got the jerk chicken plate at Subway too, Scotty. If you guys are free, man, let's go get some Subway, man.